Hey everyone, I'm very excited for you to see this episode that I did with Jill Hofer. And to be honest, I don't remember really what we talked about. What I do know is that when I am in her presence, when I'm speaking with her or listening to her or reading anything that she wrote, I feel a really deep resonance and a strong connection. And the way we met and the way how everything came together, that we connect and sent each other messages, and was nothing short of magic. And it doesn't really do it justice to try to explain it all, because it's a very personal thing. The reason I'm saying it though is that you have this in your life too. And you might be at a point in your life that you think, oh, I wish I had more of these people in my life that I feel that strong connection with. And I can tell you, the fact that you have the desire means that you will have it, or actually that you already have it. And the only thing that you now will do is allow it to happen and be joyful, be in the vibration that allows that to occur for you. Because when you're pouting and thinking, I want it, but I don't see it, then obviously you will see a reflection of that. And I had that as well. And now I have so many amazing people in my life, like Jill Hofer. And yeah, that was the intro to our wonderful talk. The last thing that I'd like to say about this, and with everything that you listen to, actually, the council says this. It's the first time I heard it through Sarah Landon channels, the council, and I heard it the first time through them, through her. And they say, while the words are important, this is a vibrational exercise, or this is what they say is it is about vibration. So the words, yes, the words say something, but you can also just, listen to it in the background, have it on in the background and do other things, because it's a vibration that will come through. Okay, enough of the intro. I wish you a lovely time with this conversation, and I see you soon. Bye.
Hi, Jill. Super welcome.
Hi.
Super, super, super nice to see you and have a chat with you about something really special. And we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I know you. How do I know? I think I know you from the Sarah Landon community, but then we didn't really connect. We connected in my, like, the strongest moment for me was the whale poem. Do you remember I posted something on Facebook? We were already Facebook friends. I invited you because I've known your name for a long time already because of, yeah, the things you do. And I posted the synchronicities with the whale, and then you responded with, can I channel a message from whale? And it was so
It's pretty good.
It was so good.
Good.
And so that's how, and I will, for anyone who's watching and thinks, what is this about? I will put a link in the description because I read your poem and I made a YouTube video out of it. And it's like on the interwebs for people to check. So anyone who's curious can listen to it. How would you describe yourself or introduce yourself in the Jill way?
Well, that's a big question. Should be a quick, easy answer, but I think it's a good one for all of us to think about. And I guess I would describe myself. I have a sort of an easy little hack I do. My first initial is C. So I'll literally introduce myself as C. Jill Hofer. And then that leads to a little fun. You know, people are like, oh, C Jill this, C Jill that, or what does it stand for? And it stands for a lot of who I am. If you just think about the letter C, I'm a connector. I love to create. I love to collaborate. I'm me from who I've always been, but I'm also me from what I've taken in and learned and gleaned from my really, you know, people I admire like you, people I want to be closer to and know and be inspired by. I guess a biggie would be curiosity. I think that I'm really me because of what I've been curious about, and by knowing that it's fun to follow those curiosities. I think that's what really has made me who I am and put all the different facets on me. As you know, we're all shining gems, you know, and we carve that out and create who we are. And I was thinking about that, and I think it's from the curiosity. I was also curious. I was like, I feel like I've known her forever. How did this start? So I have my phone right there recording this call. Whoops.
Yeah.
Or else I'd scroll through and show you, because I zipped back. And by the time we were talking on Messenger, I felt like we already knew each other. And I know I felt very comfortable saying, hey, do you want this whale message? Because you had seen the whale in your life at least twice. You had already been thinking about it. So you're attracting the whales. Then you saw, I have a believing is seeing whale on A Nice World. And you had seen that. And gosh, it just rolled from there.
Yeah.
And then later in our friendship, not too much later, I was taking a selfie in Florida with a beautiful glass flamingo behind me. And down from the screen rolls your message with a flamingo on it. And the picture of something I
That,
love. Love,
that,
love, love,
uh,
love. It's like a new life hack for me. And I love life hacks. They make me who I am too, I would say. So I love getting to know you. I love that you're so open to everyone else's input and output, and you help people flow more naturally. And I think people like you help me be who I am, and I appreciate that.
oh,
Short
wow.
question, long answer. See Jill
No,
Hope.
I love the answer. And I also thought channel.
Oh, good point. I haven't thought of that one. Good point.
So good. And you know, before we go into what I would love to speak to you about as well, so what I notice is how amazingly chilled you are. You are so
Hey, that's
relaxed.
another C.
I didn't even think about that.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
you're so relaxed and and this is, my mind is always working in, that's why this and that and that and that. Like it's just how my, yeah, how my brain works. And I know you to be an amazing conscious creator, amazing conscious creator. Like you kind of wave your wand and there it is. And I feel like your way of being yourself, Sigil Hofer, and this relaxedness allows all the things to be an idea and then pop into physical reality, because it's first an idea and then it's something tangible, because we live in imagination first, in framework 2 anyway. Yeah, and so for anyone who is watching or listening, I think it's very valuable if you tune into Jill's energy and her being, because I believe that that's like a golden ratio, if you can call it that. I don't, yeah, something
How
that's very,
nice.
yeah.
How nice. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I love and appreciate hearing what you see.
Hmm.
And it makes me appreciate, of course, that more. I don't often think of myself as calm, but you are right. I am inwardly
Yeah.
steady and calm
Yeah.
by and large. By
Do
and
you
large.
have you heard of Florence Scovel's Shin?
Oh, absolutely.
So she has this
Absolutely.
phrase. She has this phrase in one of her books, which says, "Your ships come in over a calm sea."
I've read that, but I haven't thought about it in a long time.
And
That's
you're that
nice.
calm sea. You're just like the ships can come in through the calmness of your sea. Sea to over. Anyway, okay. Let's go into what I wanted to talk to you about. You have a brand called A Nice World, and you design jewelry, you make it yourself, you do a lot of things, and this is also one of your passion projects, right?
Yeah.
When was A Nice World born?
In the 1900s.
Okay.
I love that answer. Literally 99, like
Okay. Yeah.
99.
Yeah. The Song of Prince. And so did you, so it all, because somehow, I don't know why, but somehow I thought it was born during the Sarah Landon community, blah, or maybe that was the point that you went deeper into it, or like, can you explain a little bit about how it came about and when you really
Sure.
started?
Sure. I can tell you that I was very lucky, very fortunate, very smart to choose a life and a mom where projects and creativity were a real normal central part of life. Just was what we did. And I have always been creating something. I've always been learning something. I've always had tons of hobbies. And in the late 90s, I thought, wow, I really want a website. And I had already been making stained glass pieces, basically little sun catchers that each donated to different charities that I love. I've, as I evolved from a student into my career, I've always had a focus on cause marketing. That's when it's a mutually uplifting relationship between a for-profit and a nonprofit. And to me, it's the way to go. It's my favorite. I just love cause marketing. I've written a book on it. I used to speak on it, used to travel around and
Wow.
talk to businesses about cause marketing. So of course I did it, with these little sun catchers. And that's wonderful and that's great. And I loved it. But then I found that there was this new way of making jewelry, and it was called silver clay, precious metal clay. Long story long, Mitsubishi accidentally invented this, trying to make a part that would have a certain amount of shrink and be pure silver.
Yeah.
So I learned how to sculpt jewelry, and I started the website. That was very much fueled by reading Julia Cameron's original Artist Way, the first edition that was right then.
Yeah.
Big influence. So that was when A Nice World Online was really born, and I transitioned from glass to jewelry.
Yeah.
Then through magic, wonder, miracles, and connections, I found the greatest silversmith mentor in the world, and we are
Wow.
best friends. And he's amazing. So he taught me how to use wax, and now I sculpt in wax. and cast in silver, because I am a little attached. If I could swirl my camera around, you'd see I have I'm a lover of things. And so now I can, as Alex, my mentor, would say, I can record the song and print the record. I can record the sculpture and have everything cast. It's all just like I like it. It's all perfect. And everyone is connected by these pieces. And with A Nice World, I always have had the boomerang as the iconic image, because it's based on the law of attraction. What we put out always comes back. There's actually a Florence Scovel Shinn quote on that. I believe it, I'm paraphrasing a bit. Our words, deeds, and actions come back to us like a boomerang with astounding accuracy. So I've always loved having that as the image for A Nice World. And of course, all of it gives back, whether it's buyer's choice or something kind of logical like Braille benefiting organizations that help prevent blindness. So it's been a joy and a lot of fun to connect with people I respect and love, and giving back and doing auctions and galas and donor thank yous, and meeting wonderful people through like the Abraham Hicks community. I have a really popular Joy Key necklace.
Yeah.
That's been really fun. And just like you said, starting with calm, bringing in ideas, channeling imagination, designs come forward. I channeled an incredible design and was able to give it to Sarah Landon for her community. Just every little thought that I have, I can bring it to life if I choose to, and use it to connect and uplift. And that's a really nice world for me. And I'm pretty sure it makes the world nicer for other people too.
I bet. Yeah. And who doesn't love jewelry? Like I adore jewelry. Yeah.
It's fun. It's important.
Yeah.
It's a connection. It's a reminder. It's a talisman and an amulet. You can use it as a focus object. I love jewelry too.
Yeah. And so because you just said you bring to life what you choose to. So I bet you have a lot of inspiration. And there are times that you go ahead with something, and there are times that you probably don't go ahead with something. I wanted to use another word, but I don't. So
that's right. Choice.
Yeah, based on what do you make that decision? Is it possible for you to voice?
Sure. Yeah, sure. No problem. If I were to speak in terms of channelers, I think Abraham would say it's a hell yes, or I think that's what Abraham would say. Sarah Landon would say it's choiceless.
Yeah.
And I know when wild horses can't keep me from the wax, it's happening. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know.
All of a sudden, probably awesome. You find yourself standing there and you're like, how did I get here?
Right. Sometimes it's the image itself. Like I did a recent piece that benefits an organization that's doing a lot to bring freedom and joy through, as you're choosing your words too, through what they're ending as human trafficking, and their links and their logo. I couldn't not do it. But of course, I love giving people something that they can hold and touch and say, I'm part of the solution. I'm focused on what can be. I know things can be nicer. I can be in that circle. Or it might just be that I love, like with the Braille jewelry, I have always had secret messages in my designs. Morse code beading, Braille. There's like little hidden LOAs, or like in this joy key, the Abraham's always saying joy is the key.
Yeah.
So the teeth of the key are an AH, and people will buy this and not even know that.
A bit more up. Yeah.
Up and on dark.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
that
yeah.
that helps.
Yeah.
So secret message might be what comes of it, like the Braille.
Yeah.
Different paths lead me there, but God, I'm glad that I can walk myself to the end of whatever path I want.
Yeah. That's so nice. So I could say that you just really trust life
I do.
and yourself and
Do.
everything and everyone that is on your path that you came in touch with without even knowing what for. But like, is it that you always, even because you also experience contrast, everyone experiences contrast.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And I guess, but I will let you speak on that you, even with contrasting situations, you're like, this is for me. That's what I guess. Maybe you want to speak on that. Like, how do you deal with contrasting situations?
You bet. That's a great question. I know we have a mutual friend, Rhonda Ryder, and we love her. And I had an interview with her some time ago, and she pulled a quote that I didn't really catch myself saying. And it was, contrast is my kindling. Contrast is going to fuel my fire. Because we were really, boppity boppity, we were really going back and forth. And that's what came out. And that really is how I see it. Like Sarah Landon and the council would say, it's happening for me.
Yeah.
I've been at this long enough to know this. I've been at all this conscious thinking, deliberate owning for enough years that I can catch the contrast and to some extent pivot, but to another extent stay focused on it and know, ooh, this is helpful. Ooh, this is gonna guide me a lot faster than if it hadn't happened. As Abraham would say, when you pick up a stick, it's gonna have two ends. Yeah. And there's no faster way to see this end of the stick than to first have to see this end of the stick. Otherwise, it's so floaty. Yeah. Some of the best things, I mean, this is kind of common sense, but some of the greatest manifestations in my life were a direct result of contrast. Yeah. I could show you a cabinet full of prayer candles that when I go back and look at them, it's like, wow, thank God I focused on that, because look what I got. Yeah. Even if it was just trying to steady myself, the outcome of contrast, it's gold. Contrast alchemy would be a good topic.
Alchemy,
like contrast and alchemy. Yeah. As we take the lead of contrast and turn it into gold. That's fun to think about. That's fun.
That is fun to think about. Wow.
So yeah, contrast for me is, I'm good enough at this to know it's my best friend.
Yeah. Can you give an example? Because you spoke about the candles. And so when you experienced strong contrast, you got a candle and you started to focus on the other end of what you want? Like, can you explain?
Sure. So I should have brought some out. So you know what a pillar candle is? It's what you see in the grocery store with Mother Mary or... So I start with a pillar candle, and then I write my poem, prayer, channel, wishes, write it, maybe decorate it, decoupage it on there. I'll often tie little amulets or charms on there based on what I'm focusing. You know, I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to animal symbolism, gemstones, you know, leaves and trees. I have a real great arsenal of knowledge in that department. You can always just look it up too. Tie it on, and then light it, read it, intentionally read it, blow it out, let it go. That's another great thing. You can light it and leave it lit and know that it's active in your heart and mind and it's lit. But when you blow it out, you're going to let it go. You might light it again tomorrow or later, but that part alone is really valuable. Kind of like putting your worries in a jar, you know, give yourself a break, let the universe rest your mind, let the universe do its job. So the candles, like one example, if I could use my phone, I would show you, I have an incredible view. It's the whole Tucson Valley. Tucson skyscraper is like right there. All of it's right there. There's a hummingbird I'm looking at literally right now. So quick example, we used to live in the house I'm looking at right there. It's lower, it's on the other side of the street, gorgeous view, crazy, beautiful, amazing lifetime story that led me there. I mean, amazing story that got me to that house. Manifestation like its finest. The people in front of us were intending to build, and it was going to be tall. And that was a big contrast for me, right? I get a lot of joy from this view. I made a candle. I put love to her, love in abundance. I would stand on my balcony and send her the best love and the best luck and all the money in the world. I would uplift her and feel joy for her. Because what else am I going to do? Poison my own well? Put ink in my own water? I took that contrast. At this point, I own 3 other houses on this street. And let me tell you, this is a great street. So had I just been happy with that home, which I love, and we kept it for a while, we actually sold it to some great people. But had I been floaty, happy, like I wanted to be, I would not be where I am right now. And that's a big tangible. It's just kind of like right there. So it's a good example. I used to sit right there on those stairs. That right behind me at parties. And I would molecularly own every bit of this house. I would just sit there and smile and keep my attention to conversations enough. But I was sinking into this house and owning it and loving it.
Yeah. And so you were sending love to the previous owner.
I was sending love to the people who owned the lot in front of me who were about to take my view.
Okay.
And you know what? They still haven't built. And that was 10, 20 years ago.
Wow.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's even, I think it's even helped for the new people. They haven't had to worry about it either.
Yeah. And I love how you said that you were sending love, because I just had an idea. I've had crunchy contrast about something. And it got me worked up, and I did look, squirrel. I wonder how many hairs are on my head, like all these things that Oprah, Abraham Hicks, and I was able to get myself off the topic And
job.
I feel that something in me wants to, lash. And now that you say I send her love, I was like, that's what I can do. I can send him love because
Power.
it feels
You're
much
making my hair
better.
stand up.
Yeah. It feels much better to do so. And it's a nice thing to do. And I get to send something anyway. Why
That's
not
right.
make it love? Because I
That's
feel
right.
like I want to do something and I don't want to be angry or. So
Yep. And
this,
you know what's going to happen with that? It's going to come right back to you.
yeah.
It's going to come flying, whizzing right back to you, just like always.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're smart. Having the Libra scale of like pivot, which is important. Hairs on the head. That's a fun, that's like an abundant thought. And then if you are coming back to the topic, yeah, put your power behind it. Send love. One of the greatest, well, it was my real big entree into Abraham. I knew a lot about Abraham and I knew a lot about law of attraction. I was a law of attraction Buddhist. And the phrase, let everyone off the hook, including yourself, that one rubbed my fur backwards because
Yeah.
I'm pretty much right a lot, but when you let them off the hook, and honestly, they would say, just assume everyone's doing the best they can, just like you.
True.
And that really put good words behind my, practice.
Yeah.
That was very helpful.
Yeah. I love that.
Me too. Yeah, I love that, knowing that way that you're doing this. And I guarantee you I'll be thinking about how many hairs are on my head next time. It's such an abundant, good thought. It's close to you, but it's kind of far away, It's like
it's such a great look squirrel technique. Like it's so yeah.
cute.
Okay. So I think we're coming up to 30 minutes. Yes, we are. And
Yeah.
I would love to keep this interview short and snappy also because it just, for me personally, it leaves me wanting more. I'm just like, oh
Great.
yeah, can't wait for the next time to speak to you and ask you questions. So I would love to ask you one last question. So I found on your website, it was such a random, like nothing is random, but it was so random. It was like the third whale coincidence that day, and it was 2 o'clock at night or 2:30 in the morning. Why on earth would I be clicking through your website? Like it was so funny, Jill. And then I found this whale pendant which made you then and Rhonda was like, hey, I didn't even see the pendant on there. And apparently she's very much into everything that you make. Can you remember what was the inspiration for this whale pendant?
That's an easy one. And I love circling back to this since it did play so heavily in us falling in love with each other, which I love. So I was going on my first Abraham cruise. I had been to quite a few seminars and it was 2019. It was an Alaska cruise. And I had always wanted to do that inner passage and see that. And so sure enough, I'm about to do this with Abraham. And I'm a Burning Man person also. So I really value a gifting culture, a gifting commerce, an element of, life that's not for sale. So as I'm thinking about this journey and learning about Alaska, I know that all of us are going to want to see a whale. We're all going to have that in our focus. And I thought, well, what better cruise gift to give to people who I meet and love or already love and are there or want to say a big thank you I'm going to give them that whale and they're already going to have it.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to wear my whale and I'm going to feel that whale and I'm going to infuse my being with that whale and it's going to draw those whales to me. Such a metaphor, this pendant. And what I loved about it also was not only sketching it in kind of an old school, it's like a textbook design, but her gills have a secret hidden LOA, because you know how you draw the lines on their little neck, their little chins. But on the back, it says an Abraham, it might actually be a Wayne Dyer quote. Believing and seeing are like a crossword puzzle with the E in the middle.
Yeah.
And I always loved that the E was kind of for Esther, for that cruise that she, you know, was bringing Abraham to all of us on. And so it was really fun people would be talking about whales, or I really would, you know, fall for someone or just really adore them. And it was so fun to just say, well, here's your whale. Your whale within, you know, you take this whale with you. You brought it with you when you came, and now I've just, this was your creation, and you brought me to you to give you this, you know, give them all the credit, put it all back on them. And it's so fun. It was so fun. And of course, it's a good, easy piece to donate to, you know, keep the oceans clean and keep the whales happy. So thanks for asking.
That's wonderful. It's whales are so magnificent. And it's just, yeah.
They are. I know that, and I remember that. But when I looked back and really honestly, for the first time, reread what I sent you, whales are awesome. That writing, whales are inspiring, and there are so many ways to think about them that uplifts and brings us into who we are.
Yeah. And one of my previous teachers, someone that I followed for a bit, who made she made a beautiful meditation based or channeled by whatever, doesn't really matter. She used to say, or she says, that whales are bridge forms between realities. Like
That makes sense. Air, water, in, out. That makes sense. Cool. I've never heard that term.
Yeah. It was.
I think you're a bridge creature. I think you're a bridge creature. I do. You're in your life, you're in your world, you're making things happen, and then you come up on social media and Facebook and show us how to be inspired. You come up and share to us, and exhale, take a big breath, go back into who you are. I love it.
I love that image because it's actually really what's happening at the moment. Like I'm kind of, you know, taking
Two worlds.
Yeah.
Let's make my hair stand up.
Oh, this was what a wonderful, amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Look at yourself. See how awesome you are. I always tell people, yeah, you got to have this. It's like there's so many things built into it. You know, the mirror is like so, I don't know, you just see yourself and you see, you know, you're applying a little bit of love to yourself and you're putting it out there to the world and all that good stuff. And, you know, the balancing on one leg with ease and grace, just the balance thought. And I always say, if you wear this and do some other stuff, you'll be able to stand on your hands. I don't tell them the other stuff. I make them go watch you do it.
That will be my new marketing hook.
That's right. You just just wear this do some other stuff.
Bye.
You'll be standing on your hands in no time.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you.
much. It was so much fun. And yeah, who knows? We might do it again in the future. Anyone else that loved this, I know that if you're watching this, you're getting something amazing out of it. So see you in the next. So good. And Jill, thank you.